Hello everyone and thanks for hanging out with me. This is the Volvo C40 and today I want to do a little review about the car, look at the car, the interior, then we take it on a drive, I show you the app and everything. So let's go. Let's show you the car a bit. We have the charge port on the left with a little light and a release button. We have a frunk that you open here, you get a little beep. And if you release this, you have then a tiny little frunk in there. If you open that, you can see this. That's enough for a cable. No light, and your washer fluid, and that's it. The trunk, of course, has the gesture motion thing where it opens up, and you have close and lock with opening. You have two lights in here, but I did that in the light video. Do we have a 12-volt outlet? I don't think so. I don't see any. No? Trunk is good, and you have a second floor down here that's really deep. Enough space. The rear seats, we have of course window opening, we have a little net. We have, what is this? Two USB-Cs down here. We have air vents on the ceiling. You have your panorama roof and a light on each side. And those headrests fold down with a button. And we have our armrest here. In the front we have our window controls, locking and everything, and our seat controls. Here we have our light controls, and this is how you reset the trip if you want to. Can also do it on the screen. Here we have the charging window, and it shows the charging speed and range per hour, edit, and your kilowatt. This time here completes is always wrong. It always shows a weird number, and it doesn't go down with minutes. It's just 2 hours in the beginning, then at some point it will be 1.5 hours, I can say it, and then an hour or something. So that's not so amazing. Infotainment system, and then down here you have your music control. You have two USB-Cs here and a 12-volt outlet and wireless charging. Your gear selector, and here a big pocket, and this you can take out. Little garbage. There's nothing in here though except for storage space. Glove box, good size. You have extra light and in your vanity mirrors, and you have your light control up here on the SOS button. On the steering wheel itself you have your cruise control button, so this is to turn on cruise control, and then plus minus one tap is 5 kilometers an hour more or less, and when you hold it it's 1 kilometers an hour, and this is your distance to the next car. And here you have your window, so you can switch between your normal view and map view. And here is your music control, volume, and this is to get to your trip meter. And next song, previous song, and this is the voice control. In the infotainment system, you have your main button here that shows your main things: car, phone, music, and maps. And then here you can change stuff. So this has Android system, you can install apps, have different stuff. But if you want the Bluetooth player as your music, and then you go to, then you have Bluetooth in here. But if you want Spotify, which Spotify, by the way, doesn't connect to your phone, the data, it does it itself with the car's internal thing. And here we have a little range estimation and your consumption. This the instant consumption is not very good. There's no comma behind it. And here too, this switches in 10 kilometers steps, so also not very good with the range. But of course you see in the instrument cluster your state of charge. You have your climate control with everything, where to go, and auto, and your AC button, and the airflow and everything, and a driver. You have 2-zone climate, and here you have your steering wheel heater and your seat heater. And when you press here, it's just the seat heater for the passenger. You have a few settings where you can turn on your steering assist, lane assist. Lane assist will keeping aid will stay off. If you turn it off, it will just stay off, will not to go on when you start the car again. Steering assist you have to do in here. Sadly, those two buttons here, I was hoping those would do that, but those are for nothing. They don't do anything. And you have your charging window, you have your charge limit that you can set. Now let's check out the space in here. So when I'm sitting here, it's all nice. The armrest here in the middle is good. The armrest in the door is also good. Has a good feeling to it. Steering wheel can be adjusted, of course. In and out, up and down. It's all fine. What I noticed is that space up here is also this much, so it's no problem. The seats don't have a lot of side support, so you slide around a lot. That's not the most amazing thing. But other than that, it's a nice interior, it feels nice, and there's enough space. What I notice sometimes that I touch here when I get out of the car, but other than that, great in the front. Let's check out the rear seats. Yeah, the seat in front is all the way on the bottom and on my height, 180 centimeters. And if I sit here, I have only a tiny bit of leg room. My feet have a lot of space underneath, even underneath the seat, that's fine. This stuff here is hard, so you cannot put it down because this is really hard. It's right on your shin bone. No, not good. Also no side support for the seats. I'm touching the ceiling. Let's look at the armrests, and if I put the middle one down too, good height. By the way, in the front was also great height for the armrests for me. Here is the same, but it's really not a lot of space for passenger grown-ups here in the back. Now let's drive the C40 a bit. Amazing with the car. As with the XC40 as well, you don't need a start-stop button. You have your key in your... Oh, you want to see the key, eh? Key looks like this. You have just here lock, unlock, and open the trunk, and the other thing, a panic button. And you just press the brake and put it into gear, and that's it. Then you drive. Car is on. It also starts extremely fast. Everything is there in 10 seconds if it's totally asleep. So it's really cool. And then you have your gear selector and you go. Also no beeping for anything. I mean, if you don't have your seatbelt on when you drive, of course, you get a little chime. But if you don't have it on when you press the brakes, or if you turn the ignition on, there's nothing. It just works, and it's really nice. The drive overall, it's comfortable. It's not as soft as the XC40, and I like it way better. Steering is a bit harder. I would like it a tiny bit softer. It doesn't have to be much, especially on the highway. I would prefer it a bit stronger. And there's a button where you can make it firmer, but not lighter. What's the opposite of firm? Loudness in here is great. Even at 130, it's a comfortable volume. Even though those are the 21-inch all-season tires. And driving is just very nice. Seating position is nice. Like I said in before, the cornering, they don't have a lot of side support, so you move around. And the seats get really hot. Even now at 20 degrees, I'm sweating like crazy on my back. In the instrument cluster, you can see a lot of things. As you can see, speed, and on the right, power use. So this is power, and this is regen. You see gear selector on the bottom. You see your trip meter, and you can select which one it is because you have two trips, trip manual and automatic. The automatic resets itself after a few hours when the car is parked. And that's it. And if you want to reset, you can press a button here on the left side of your light control, or you can when you press this, you can press OK again and then confirm. I'm not going to do that right now. And the only other view you have is this, where you have your map in front of you. And those are the only two views. You have one pedal driving that you can activate in the settings, and it's awesome, and it's always the same even when you're at 100%. And Volvo said that with the XC40 as well. Of course, with a full battery you cannot have full regen. That's why they use the friction brakes to simulate the exact same brake force, and I love that. I really love that. So 100% or 10%, you have the same regen to a standstill, no creep if this is on. Awesome. The blinker is not very loud. Love that. I hate loud noises and stuff that annoy me, stuff that I click away every time I get into the car or change. Awesome. Don't have to turn lane assist off every time. Of course, you have comfort blinker where it just indicates 3 times. You have auto high beam. I showed it in a different video. Looks good. The lights overall look great. In the beginning, I thought the car doesn't have an interval, just interval, no rain sensor. But for rain sensor, you have to press a button on the stock where your wipers are, and then it will show up in the instrument cluster, and then those are your rain sensor, and it works okay. Your cruise control is just really amazing. One button, and it's on. So, for example, I go here. What is he doing? Is he okay? Stopping. One button and it's on. And then with the plus and minus, if I tap it once, it's always 5 kilometers an hour change. And you can press it really fast. It's awesome. Then you have your distance. That's down there. And if you want just 1 kilometer an hour, you press long. Awesome. It works really well. Tap it again, it's gone. It's really great. Keeps the distance amazing. On the country road, this is the best thing ever. Even though when you have a low distance and there's a truck a bit farther away, it notices the truck, I don't know, 500 meters away, and will already slow down, but then it keeps a short distance. A lot of adaptive cruise controls, when you do a short distance, they only brake when they're really close to the car, and this doesn't do it. On the highway, on the other way, it's not that good, because when you're driving 130 and there's a truck, it will already slow down even though you're those 500 meters away. It's not that great. But on a country road, this is the best cruise control, adaptive cruise control I ever used. Yeah, it's busy. It's Easter weekend. And it's a holiday in Germany today on Monday. Today's Friday, so it's busy. At 100 kilometers an hour, the speed, by the way, GPS speed is just 1 kilometer an hour off, so it shows 1 kilometer an hour more than the real GPS speed. At 100 kilometers an hour, which is barely any sound in here. It's really nice and quiet. And we're gonna look at 130 and 150. And it's, like I said, really comfortable. Way better suspension than the XC40. Driving this car is awesome. And we didn't even get to the best point. The power. 300 kilowatt, 408 horsepower. It's just a lot. It's a lot, sometimes too much. It's the peak of power that I would like in a car. I don't need more. Really not. That's just enough. Okay, 130. Still comfortable. Not loud at all. Of course, there's more wind noise, and those 21-inch all-season tires do their thing. Let's do 150. Also not that much difference. Still awesome. So in the country, on country roads and on the city, it's fine, but on the highway, the rear window is a big problem. And the problem is not the window, it's the angle or the height difference between the rear view mirror and the rear window. I cannot see very far. I have to go down a bit, and then I can see a tiny bit of cars more behind me. And that's it. But let's do top speed. 184 is the top speed. And there we are. It's just very fast. At that speed it's loud, and it's not super stable, but it's still okay. There's an ID3 on the other side in gray. It's still okay, even at 185 uphill. My consumption is 66, 660 watt-hours per kilometer. Yeah, but the steering, like I said, on the highway could be a bit lighter. I think it's a bit too hard. Steering assist, you have to go into setup and driving, and then steering assist is on. You can see it on the icon infotainment system. It takes a bit till it gives you the first warning, and then it takes a bit till it's red, and then it's beeping. There we go. And then sometimes it's need a bit of more of a jerk, and sometimes it doesn't, but usually it's okay. Steering assist at all is not that amazing. I find that the car doesn't know where to be. Sometimes it's more to the left, sometimes to the right. It moves around a lot. It's not very smooth. I'm not the biggest fan of it. See, now I have to do a lot, and then I have to go back in here. It's too bad it's not on the steering wheel. I was hoping it would do that. So if I press long left or so, or short left or long right, but nothing changes. And do this. 3, 2, 1, full. Yeah, that's power. 101 is the one we need. Oh yes. 4.7 seconds. That's the stuff. It feels amazing. Good stuff. And regen is really strong. You have to learn a bit in the beginning that it's not a lot of regen, and then it gets into strong regen the more you get off, so it's not linear, but it feels amazing. Let's look at the app. In the app you can see the car, your state of charge, and you can move the car over, and you can see that the doors are locked. And if I unlock, when does it now it shows it in the car. You can go on climate. There you can see your timers and add a timer and turn that on, or you can start air conditioning right now. And the other thing is charging. You don't see charging power, you see time, but the time is just wrong, like I said before. But you can do your schedule and everything. That's cool. And that's it. That's all you can do, but it's enough. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.